אלוהים אל דמי לך, אל תחרוש ואל תשקוט אל, כי הנה אויביך יעמיון, ומשונאיך נשאו ראש. Good evening and Erev Tov. My name is Yael Cheruti, and on behalf of Yom Hazikaron Host Committee and my co-chair Michael Milgram and me, we thank you for joining us today, the 3rd of Iyar, Tafshin Pei Gimel. The Jewish Federation of Cleveland is proud to bring together the American and Israeli community tonight in honor of Yom Hazikaron.
Tomorrow evening begins the celebration of the 75th anniversary of the independence of the State of Israel. But tonight, we are here to commemorate the heroes who sacrificed their lives in defense of Israel and to remember those who died as innocent victims of terror.
In recognition of the solemn nature of Yom HaZikaron, we ask that you refrain from applause throughout the ceremony. Please also ensure your cell phones are turned off.
If you are able, please rise and join Dina Stein in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Dina. Please be seated.
When we thought of tonight's theme, Achdut, brotherhood, we were thinking of the two sets of brothers who lost their lives within a week of one another in terror attacks. Our hearts were further broken weeks later when a set of sisters and their mother were killed in another terror attack.
The Achdut and connection that is felt between people in Israel is like family. One of the most common terms that people call each other is Achi. While it literally translates as my brother, it means so much more than that. Achi can be your brother, your best friend who you've known for years, or your taxi driver who you'll likely never see again.
Achdut doesn't really translate well into English, but it's this feeling of brotherhood, unity, and togetherness that connects us all and makes us one. So when a brother or sister is lost, or sadly, 3 sets of siblings, everyone feels like they themselves has lost a sibling.
The song Ach Shali, my brother, was written after 67 Israeli soldiers, brothers, sons, husbands, and fathers, were killed in 2014 during Operation Protective Edge. The English translation goes as follows. My brother, dear friend, I thought of you today, where you were, if you are well. Give a hug to your brother. Come to me tonight. We will sit, laugh, talk. You are my brother, you are my friend. You are blood in my veins. Goes far with me and never leaves. I dream life with you, and your songs are in my heart. I love you so much. I love you so much.
אח שלי, חבר יקר, שומר סודותיי בחושך. הלב שלי, הלב שלך, עולמים באותו הדופק. מה שעברנו בדרך, שנינו יודעים לספר. אתה אח שלי, אתה חבר. אתה לי דם בעורקים, הולך איתי למרחקים ולא עוזר. אני חולם איתך חיים, והשירים שלך שמורים אצלי בלב. אני אוהב אותך, כל כך אוהב אותך. אני אוהב אותך, כל כך הרבה. אח שלי, חבר יקר, היום חשבתי עליך. איפה אתה אם טוב לך? תביא חיבוק לאחיך. בוא אליי הערב, נשב נצחק נדבר. אתה אח שלי, אתה חבר. אתה לי דם בעורקים, הולך איתי למרחקים ולא עוזר. אני חולם איתך חיים, והשירים שלך שמורים אצלי בלב. אני אוהב אותך, כל כך אוהב אותך. אני אוהב אותך, כל כך אוהב.
If you are able to do so, we ask that you stand as we sound the siren of commemoration and stand in silence in memory of those who died defending the state of Israel and those who were killed in terror attacks. Please remain standing for the Yizkor prayer and El Malei Rachamim that will follow.
We invite Ari Teomi and Rabbi Scott Rowland to recite the Yizkor prayer in Hebrew and English. Following Yizkor, Rabbi Rowland will lead us in El Malei Rachamim.
יזכור עם ישראל את בניו ובנותיו הנאמנים והאמיצים, חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל, וכל לוחמי המחתרות וחטיבות הלוחמים במערכות העם, ואנשי קהילות המודיעין, הביטחון, המשטרה ושירות בתי הסוהר, אשר חירפו נפשם במלחמה על תקומת ישראל, וכל מי שנרצחו בארץ ומחוצה לה בידי מרצחים מארגוני הטרור. יזכור ישראל ויתברך בזרעו, ויאבל על זיו העלומים וחמדת הגבורה וקדושת הרצון ומסירות הנפש של הנספים במערכה הכבדה. יהיו חללי מערכות ישראל, עטורי הניצחון, חתומים בלב ישראל לדור דור.
May the people of Israel remember our sons and daughters who exposed themselves to mortal danger in those days of struggle prior to the establishment of the State of Israel. And may we remember the soldiers of the Israeli Defense Forces who fell in the wars of Israel. And may we remember the murdered victims of terror, both in Israel and around the world. May the people of Israel keep them in our memory and be blessed with their seed. Let us mourn the splendor of youth, the charm of valor, the holiness of will, and the devotion of sacrifice, which came to an end in heavy battle. May the loyal and valiant heroes of freedom and victory be sealed forever within the hearts of Israel. And we say, Amen. El Malei Rachamim, Shochen Bamromin, Hametzei Menucha Nechona, Al Kanfei Ashchina, B'ma'alot kedoshim, torim vegiborim, kezohar hakia me'irim umazhirim, lenishmor chalalei marachot Yisrael, shenaflu b'milchamot Yisrael, בפעולות הגנה, תגמול וביטחון, בעת מילוי תפקידם ובעת שירותם, ושחרפו נפשם למות על קדושת השם, ובעזרת אלוהי מערכות ישראל, הביאו לתקומת האומה והמדינה ולגאולת הארץ ועיר האלוהים, ולכל מי שנרצחו בארץ ומחוצה לה בידי המצחים וארגוני הטרור. בעבור שאנו מתפללים לעילוי נשמותיהם בגן עדן די מנוחתם. לכן אנא בעל הרחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמותיהם. אדוני הוא נחלתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבותם, ויעמדו לגורלם לקץ הימין, ונאמר אמן.
Thank you. Please be seated. Halel Yaniv, age 21. Yagel Yaniv, age 19.
Yaakov Yisrael Pele, age 6. Asher Menachem Pele, age 8.
Maya D, age 20. Rina D, age 16.
We invite Zahava Galen and Dana Atias to read excerpts of the eulogy given by Karen D. in honor of her sisters, Maya and Rina D. Zichronan Livracha.
מאיה, אני אפילו לא יודעת מאיפה להתחיל. זה בלתי נתפס. היית כל העולם בשבילי. החברה הכי טובה, אחות גדולה, מישהו להתייעץ איתה, לפרוק לה, לכעוס עליה עם הידיעה שתמיד תסלחי לי. פשוט הכל. אנחנו רק שנה הפרש, וכל שלב בחיים עברנו ביחד. כבר מהילדות הייתי האחות היותר משוגעת, ואת רגועה יותר. ככה שתמיד היה יוצא שאנחנו מאזנות אחת את השנייה. מאיה אחותי הגדולה. אני לוקחת על עצמי עכשיו את התפקיד של האחות הבכורה בבית. אני מקווה שאני אצליח לעשות את זה טוב כמוך, אבל אני בטוחה שבחיים לא אצליח להחליף אותך, אפילו לא קצת. אני מבטיחה לשמור על טלי ועל יהודה, כמו ששמרת על כולם. אני אוהבת אותך ומתגעגעת בטירוף.
Maya, I don't even know where to start. It's unimaginable. You were the whole world to me, the best friend, a big sister, someone to consult with, to vent to be angry at with the knowledge that you will always forgive me. Simply everything. We are only a year apart, and we went through every phase of life together. Since I was a child, I was the crazier, and you were the calmer sister. So it always turned out that we balanced each other out. Maya, my older sister, I now take on the role of the eldest sister in the house. I hope I can do it as well as you, but I'm sure I'll never be able to replace you, not even a little bit. I promise to take care of Tali and Yehuda like you took care of everyone. I love you and miss you like crazy.
נינה שלי, אחותי הקטנה, הבטחתי לך שאני אשמור עלייך, ואני מצטערת שלא הגשמתי את ההבטחה שלי. הייתי עושה הכל כדי להיות שם ברכב במקומך. אני מפחדת לחשוב מה עשית ברגעים האלו של הכאב, השניות לפני שזה קרה. איך הסתדרת עם כל הפחד, ולא הייתי שם כדי להציל אותך. אני מצטערת. העולם מאבד נשמה טהורה כמוך. רצינו להספיק עוד כל כך הרבה דברים ביחד, ולא הספקנו.
My Nina, my little sister, I promised you that I would take care of you, and I'm sorry I didn't keep my promise. I would do anything to have been there in the car in your place. I'm afraid to think about what you did in those moments of pain. The seconds before it happened, how did you deal with all the fear? And I wasn't there to save you. I'm sorry. The world is losing a pure soul like you. We wanted to accomplish so many more things together, and we couldn't.
To light the memorial candle for the fallen on behalf of our community, we invite Lynn Cohn and Jimmy Ratner, co-chairs of Federations Israel at 75 Initiative.
To honor and respect those who have sacrificed their lives for the state of Israel, we have 4 wreaths. The first wreath for the victims of war will be placed on behalf of Friends of the IDF Ohio chapter by Ryan and Shlomit Haber. The wreath for prisoners of war and missing in action will be placed by teens Nina Mayers and Gabi Kaliev.
The wreath in honor of those whose place of burial is unknown will be placed by Aviad and Tali Israeli, accompanied by their children Yaeli and Noah, representing the Israeli community in Northeast Ohio. To place the last wreath in honor of victims of acts of terror, we invite Levi and Abigail Halberstam, representing the Federation's Young Leadership Division. Their son, Ari Halberstam, is named in memory of Levi's younger brother, Ari, who was a victim of the 1994 Brooklyn Bridge shooting of a van of Chabad Lubavitch students.
Now we'd like to call up students of Gross Schechter Day School and Mandel Jewish Day School to lay wreaths in honor of Yom Hazikaron.
Good evening. My name is Itai Margalit, and I'm the community shaliach in Cleveland. Tonight is about achva. And while my work in Cleveland is about bringing Israel to Cleveland's young adults, tonight I'm here to talk about the Americans that chose to make Aliyah and to serve in the Israeli Defense Forces. Growing up in Israel, it was obvious to serve in the IDF, as obvious as going to high school. It was my commitment to where I was raised as an Israeli. After working to prepare lone soldiers for their army service after my army service, I understood what can be never taken for granted are those lone soldiers that come to Israel, and sometimes they make the biggest sacrifice of all. On July 22nd, 2014, Nissim Shon Carmeli of South Padre Island, Texas, was killed while his armored personnel carrier was struck by an anti-tank missile in Gaza. With concerns that the family would not arrive to the funeral in time, Sean's favorite soccer team, Maccabi Haifa, put out a call for fans to attend his funeral so it would not be deserted. An estimated of 20,000 Israelis attended that funeral. This is Achva, and this is Eretz Israel.
ואתה ראשון, 20,000 איש אחריך שון. צועדים בשקט עם פרחים, שתי אחיות, 20,000 אחים. אוהדי הכדורגל שהגיעו עם הצעיפים של הקבוצה, ובחורה עם דגל שלא ברור לה למה היא כל כך בוכה, בלי להכיר אותך. 20,000 איש ואתה ראשון, 20,000 איש אחריך שון, צועדים בשקט עם פרחים, שתי אחיות, 20,000 אחים. באו לומר תודה ולהיפרד, להגיד שאין דבר כזה חייל בודד, וגם עם לא לבדד ישכון. כל עוד ישנם בטקסס, בחיפה, בגוש עציון, אנשים כמוך שון, 20,000 איש ואתה ראשון, 20,000 איש אחריך שון, צועדים בשקט עם פרחים, שתי אחיות, 20,000 אחים. העושה שלום במרומה, יעשה שלום עלינו עם בוא הסתיו, שלא תזכה לראות כבר שום. לכן הגיעו הנה מזקן ועד קטון, מחיפה, מגוש עציון, 20,000 איש ואתה ראשון, 20,000 איש אחריך שון, צועדים בשקט עם פרחים, שתי אחיות, 20,000 אחים, 20,000 איש.
We invite Shinshinit Gil Geva Keinan to share a story for Yom Hazikaron.
He drove at 10:30 at night. Everything around him was dark and quiet. He sat in a black Mercedes with his driver and his young security guard. Another Mercedes with additional security forces were directly behind them. They were on their way to meet the secret agent he had been working with for several months. They knew each other very well and developed a close relationship. They trusted each other and were even friends. Together, the Israelis moved towards the border with Lebanon. They were excited and nervous about this mission. The goal of the mission was to meet the agent to receive information, as it happened several times before. The information was important and critical. They traveled without headlights, so nobody would see them, and to maintain the secrecy of the meeting. Along the way, the other Mercedes with the additional security forces lost their way and was no longer with them. They arrived at the entrance to the village close to the border, and suddenly and shockingly, gunfire opened from both sides. The Shin Bet coordinator and the young driver were killed on the spot. A few minutes later, the other car arrived and saw everything that happened. During the investigation of this horrible event, it was discovered that the secret agent with whom he had worked with double-crossed him and set up the ambush. It was one of the most painful cases of the Shabak, the General Security Service, kind of the Israeli FBI. He was betrayed by his loyal and trusted agent and friend. Zev was only 29 when he died in action. Until that moment, he was a young man, ambitious and highly motivated. He was a young coordinator in the Shin Bet and dedicated his entire life to this role. And when I say he devoted his entire life, I also mean his closest family. At home, waiting for him, his loving wife, Gila, and his two young children, Yulit, who was 7-year-old then, and Itzan, 2.5 years old. They were used to his long trips and time away from home. He would often spend several days away for each operation. They were used to his absence. He always made sure to prepare them for the day that he might die. He prepared them because he was almost sure that it would happen. And from his perspective, there was no question at all. He would do anything to protect his country. Even in the army, when his mother did not agree with him being a combat soldier, since he was an only child, he faked her signature and entered the role of commander in the military police. Later, when he became a coordinator in the Shin Bet and he had his own family already, they moved every year to a new place of residence. They lived in the south, north, kibbutz, city, anything to be close to his work. Zev was a patriot. He was fearless in a suspicious but inspiring way. He was ready to die 1,000 times and to know that he did everything for Israel. He wanted his children to know what true love for the place where you live is, what sacrifice is, what loyalty is. He always used to say, I have no other country, en li eretz acheret, out of complete faith that this is truly the place that needs to be preserved and protected at any cost. This is home. So why am I telling you about Zev? Zev Geva Greenberg, a 29-year-old, is none other than my grandfather. The same 7-year-old girl who lost her father, whose name is Yulit, she is my mother. And this story is a huge part of who I am today. Although my grandfather is a historical figure and I've never had a chance to really speak with him, he lives within me. Within me and within each and every one of my family members. To grow up in a bereaved family that lost one of its members in the fight for the country is such a huge challenge. This family will live with an open wound, one that you wake up with and go to sleep with. There will be days when the wound will simply just be there. There will be days when it will itch and not let you sleep, but it will never heal. We do not need a Memorial Day to feel the pain of the heroes who sacrificed themselves to the country. For us, every day is a day of remembrance, and everything will take on a different meaning for us. Every soldier we'll see will remind us of our beloved, and every knock on the door will make our hearts skip a beat. To be a bereaved family is certainly the hardest thing we have to deal with. And if we had a choice, we would choose not to be included in the list of bereaved families. Nevertheless, it is a great privilege. This story united us as a family around one idea. We will do anything in our power to protect Israel, our home. Even as a little girl, I knew that I would continue my grandfather's path in one way or another. My mother, Yulit, that 7-year-old girl who grew up without a father, who sacrificed himself for Israel, always made sure to raise me and my sister with Zionist values, without anger, with a lot of pride. And we could have been angry. We could have been angry at the agent who betrayed us. We could have been angry at the reality, at the loss. But from that day on, we chose to be proud in every detail in this story and to pass it on so that as many people as possible would know what a hero my grandfather was. So that as many people as possible would feel the endless love for Israel and the dedication and loyalty to her. Beyond my choice to be a Shinshin, Israel young Shaliach, far from home, on the other side of the world, stands mainly him, my grandpa. My choice to be here today is a continuation of his path, not in exactly the same way, but with the same values and the same goal. I left everything behind for all here, my home, my family, my friends, but I never hesitated, not for a moment. I knew that distancing myself from Israel would be the best way for me to get closer to her and to bring more people close to her. This is the best way for me to show my love for my country. The values that my grandfather believed in are the same values that carry me every day here at work and in general. My Zionism and the values that I was raised with are what brought me here, in order to make the people who sit here today feel the love and passion for the land of Israel, even from thousands of miles away. I want each one of you that sit here today to know that you have an important and meaningful role in protecting our home. Protecting this home starts with the small things we can do, to be there for each other, to live with loyalty and dedication, and above all, to spread our love to Israel. To remember that there were people who gave their lives for this place, and today, our role is not to only remember them, but also to continue their path in our own way, today and every day. And to my grandpa, thank you. Thank you for caring so much. Thank you for teaching me to love my country without limitations, even when you're no longer here. I promise to continue your path forever. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gil, for sharing your family's story and reminding us all of how personal Yom Hazikaron is for so many families. In 2014, IDF soldier Sean Monshine was killed while fighting in the Gaza war. Following his tragic death, the goodbye letters he had written to his family and friends were found on his phone.
We invite Itai and Gil back up, along with Shinshin Bnaya Gavish Maor and Michal Ortman to sing Laila Tov Sean.
לבקש, לא רציתי להגיד אותך, מהכניסה לעזה או משהו, בבקשה, תהי חזקה בשבילי. ואם יקרה לי משהו, תחייכי בגאווה, אני אוהב אותך, אוהב אותך, אוהב אותך, אוהב אותך, אוהב אותך, אוהב אותך.
אבא, היית אבא נפלא באמת. אבא, גבר, גבר, למרות שרבנו בחודש האחרון, אל תייחס לזה משמעות. אני
אוהב אותך, אוהב אותך, אוהב אותך, אוהב אותך, אוהב אותך, אוהב אותך, אהבת אמת.
שחף שיר לי ולכל הקרובים והחברים. אני
אוהב אתכם, אוהב אתכם, אוהב אתכם. אני אתגעגע אליכם, ומקווה שלא תתגעגעו אליי, כי אני שמח שנפלה בחלקי הזכות ליפול למען המדינה שלי. אני אוהב אותה, אוהב אותה, אוהב אותה, אוהב אותה, אוהב אותה, אוהב אותה. אז אם אתם קוראים את המכתבים, כנראה שהלכתי לישון. לילה טוב, שון.
When we talk about Achdut, we're also talking about the global meaning of Jewish peoplehood. We are all connected. Even our Cleveland community, seemingly far from Israel, has been impacted by the tragedies and loss of life that we honor on Yom Hazikaron. David Applebaum, Zichrono Livracha, spent part of his childhood in Cleveland before training as an emergency room technician in Toledo, Ohio, and making Aliyah with his family. David became chief of the Emergency Room and Trauma Center at Jerusalem Shaarei Tzedek Medical Center.
On September 2003, David accompanied his daughter Nava, Zichrona Livracha, to Cafe Hillel on Emek Rephaim Street in Jerusalem. In the hours before her wedding, David wanted to steal a few minutes of quiet and calm alone with his daughter before the festivities began.
אבא שלי בהכל הוא היה גדול, גדול בתורה, והוא היה רופא גדול, ענק. נאווה שירתה שנה ראשונה של שירות לאומי בחדרה, בכפר נוער לילדים בסיכון. היא פיתחה קשר מאוד הדוק עם הילדים עצמם. כשהיא התארסה, הילדים היו מוזמנים כמובן לאירוע. היא דאגה להתקשר אחד-אחד. בבוקר של החתונה, כל היום אז הייתה תחושה של חגיגה. כחלק מההכנות, אבא שלי ונאווה יצאו להביא לנו כמה דברים מקפה הלל. אנחנו המשכנו בבית, בהכנות, עד ששמענו שהיה פיגוע. המעבר היה מעבר חד מאוד מהתרגשות והכנות לחתונה. לבשורה כזאת. אובדן גדול.
Israel is more than an eretz. It's more than a country. It is what unites us, whether you are living in Israel, Cleveland, or anywhere else. It is all of our country. It is achdut.
I have no other country, even if my land is aflame. Just a word in Hebrew pierces my veins and my soul. With a painful body, with a hungry heart, here is my home.
Tonight, our bodies are in pain and our hearts are hungry, mourning collectively for those whose memory we honor on Yom Hazikaron.
We invite Itai, Benaya, Gil, and Michal back to lead us in the singing of En Le'eretz Acheret.
אין לי ארץ אחרת, גם אם אדמתי בוערת, רק מילה בעברית חותרת, אלוקיי אל נשמתי, בגוף כואב, בלב רעב, כאן הוא ביתי. לא אשתוק כי ארצי שינתה את פניה, לא אוותר להזכיר לה ואשיר כאן מאוזניה, שתפתח את עיניה. אין לי ארץ אחרת עד שתחדש ימיה, שתפתח את עיניה. אין לי ארץ אחרת, גם אם אדמתי בוערת, רק מילה בעברית חותרת, אלוקיי אל נשמתי, בגוף כואב, בלב רעב, כאן הוא ביתי. בגוף כואב, בלב רעב, כאן הוא ביתי. אין לי ארץ אחרת.
$28,468 soldiers, security forces, and civilians have died defending the security of our homeland and simply living their lives in Israel as Jews and non-Jews. ובמותם ציוו לנו את החיים. With their death, they gave us life.
We conclude our program tonight with the singing of Hatikvah. We invite all of the Israeli shlichim in our community to join us on stage and lead us in the singing. Please rise if you're able.
כל עוד בלבב פנימה, נפש יהודי הומייה, ולפתי מזרח קדימה, ציון צופיה, עוד לא תקוותנו, עתיד בת שנות 2000, להיות חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון ירושלים, להיות חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון ירושלים.
Thank you all for joining us this evening to remember, honor, and commemorate those brave souls who died defending the state of Israel and the innocent victims of terror.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן.
This concludes our 2023 Yom Hazikaron ceremony.
תם טקס יום הזיכרון תשפ"ג.